Hi, my name's Jonathan Hicks. I'm at the UK Games Expo 2019, and today I'm joined by
Michael Ozon from Phalanx. Nice to meet you.
And we're playing Europe Divided, which is like a sequel of sorts to Twilight Struggle. It takes a lot of the same mechanisms as Twilight Struggle, but just advances it a bit, brings it into the modern age. So it's set, obviously, as you can see here, in Europe, but it kind of starts in 1992, is that right?
Yeah, it's right. Just after collapse of Soviet Union.
Okay, and you're obviously taking the two sides. So one player is the EU and NATO, and the other player on the other half is kind of the Russian Federation of sorts. And you're fighting over these contested territories in the middle. So you can see you've got Poland, Hungary, the Balkans, and also down here to Azerbaijan and Armenia and places like this. But you can see the various dice on the board. These represent influence. So the red dice shows how much influence the Russian player has, and the Western player kind of has, you can see there's some blue dice, but also some yellow dice. That's quite important. There's kind of two different types of influence for the Western player. Now, ultimately, you're trying to score points. The way you do that, key thing here is you have these headline cards which are going to pop up. So they're interestingly going to cycle. So you will have a hand of these. Let me just show you an example. So you'd have a couple to choose from, and you might decide for some reason, okay, I'm going to play this one, and each player will play them on either end, and then at the appropriate point, we resolve the ones in the middle. So if I had more blue influence in Ukraine than red influence, then that would score me a victory point, and then that one kind of goes away. We check this one, and this one, the red player has to have what's called dominance, which means they have to have a 6 in Belarus. And Michael did very well, and he managed to get dominance in Belarus, so he would score 2 points. But after they've gone away, these kind of slide up, and we play new ones. We look at our hand, and we decide which ones we're going to play, and we play them in here. So you kind of know which ones are coming up, but obviously your opponent is also playing ones that are going to be good for him potentially, and so you're constantly looking ahead, which are going to be the areas on the board that we're going to be fighting over. Where do I need to get my influence? How do I score the points? Essentially, there's a point tracker down here, and you play a certain number of rounds, and most points at the end wins. But you can see there's not actually a lot of points available in the game. 2 points, and in fact 3 points is a huge number of points, so that's quite important. How to actually play the game though? Well, you have a hand of cards, it's like a deck builder, and the cards are multi-use. You can do a number of different things with them. So you can kind of add a dice. If you want to put a dice, let's say in a contested area like Poland, you pay 2 money, which is the bottom right, and you stick a yellow dice in on a 1. Or alternatively, if you've already got a dice somewhere, you can increase it. So this would increase it by 4, this would increase it by 3. Money is very important. All the little black numbers at the bottom right, you have to spend money on things. So this is a way of getting money. You can instead spend the card to get the money. You just take the coins. But those like yellow ones, but potentially you might want to do blue ones instead. So the same kind of things, you can put a blue dice down to increase the value. Or, crucially, you can get the armies. Now, they're not quite armies. These things sort of represent political power and things.
Military advisors as well.
Okay, so these will move around the map, and they're very important for a couple of reasons. Firstly, if you have a 5, let's say on the map, you can see in the Baltics here.
But if the army is here, you wouldn't be able to.
Right, so yes, you're kind of blocking the opponent. Yeah. So because there's an army here, that would stop me getting this up to the 6. Yes. So if I had been better at playing the game, when this was a lower number, if I managed to get one of my armies into the Belarus, that would stop Michael from getting it up to a 6, which he needed for one of the cards to claim the Belarus point. So you're moving the armies down, they're important. If you move one army into another army, they kind of knock each other out and they go away off the board. So you're constantly having to spawn new armies in your home territories and then gradually move them across the board. And again, you're doing that with the cards. So this one you can spend 2 to build an army, and that would have to be in Italy, or alternatively, you can spend money to move. Now, moving armies is very straightforward. You decide how many spaces you're going to go. So let's say I want to go 1, 2, 3 spaces, and the first move is free, but every other one costs a coin. So that would cost me 1, 2 coins. You pay your money from your supply, and then you get to move them. So that's how you use the cards. Each time, though, you're picking 2 cards from your hand. Let's say I choose these 2. The influence at the bottom, the initiative at the bottom left here, you compare with your opponent. Whoever has the highest total plays their cards first. So I've got 8, Michael here's got 10, so he played both of his cards and do his actions. Then I will play both of mine and do the actions. Then they're discarded, and you draw 2 more cards from your deck, and you kind of get ready for the next turn. Once, like any deck builder, once you've gone through your deck, you're shuffling your discard pile. If you manage to get influence that's 5 or higher in one of the contested areas, then you actually get the cards from the available cards here and you add them to your deck. So this is one way of getting more cards. Incidentally, the cards can also have special abilities and effects on, which will vary sort of gameplay. These cards are often not as powerful though, so there's a certain amount of wanting to get rid of these potentially in your deck. As you expand and gain control of more territories, it becomes more difficult to actually manage your deck because you've got these cards that aren't going to help you as much because of the bureaucracy of the area. So yeah, you play, as I say, over a number of rounds. The round tracker here is very clear, indicates when you're resolving the headlines, when they slide up, and you keep going until you get to the end, and most points wins. Now I understand this is going to be on Kickstarter later this year, is that right?
Starting from 10th of June.
Okay, so that's pretty soon.
Yes.
All right.
As you can see, game is ready for being published. We just want to make a short campaign and release the game for Essenspiel this year.
Okay, great. So, I mean, these are just prototype components, but I mean, it does look very nice, particularly the artwork. I do really enjoy this. I will just say, I've just played a few rounds of the game with Michael here, and I really enjoyed it. I've played Twilight Struggle a lot over the years, and this very much captures the essence of it, that whole idea of looking at the headline cards that are coming up, planning ahead. You kind of know to a certain extent what you're going to be doing, what your opponent's going to be doing, but you never know quite what they've got in their hand, and you're kind of rushing to get the cards out to stop them gaining the influence or the dominance in various areas. It's really nice, it does the job really well, but it feels faster. It plays more quickly and more smoothly than Twilight Struggle does, based on the few rounds that I've played. So I would highly recommend this one. All right, thanks for watching. That was Europe Divided.